Nearly £3 million has been raised here in the east to help those hit by Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. One of those helping on the front line is Richard Villar, a surgeon from Cambridge who's been in Tacloban operating in terrible conditions. We'll be speaking to him in just a moment. But first, Mike Cartwright looks at how this region has helped so far.
It's 2 weeks since the typhoon did this. Total devastation that triggered fundraising across the globe. From this region, vital aid. In Wellingborough this weekend, 2 container trucks loaded by volunteers. Food, medical supplies, even toys.
I think it's everybody's duty to help in a situation like this. Those people have been left with nothing. They're living in nothing, and I think it's our responsibility to give them some hope.
People have lost everything and despair, utter despair. So what we're doing is trying to say there are people that are helping, and we're just doing something practical. We're getting the stuff going and moving.
Well, everyone does their little bit, things get done. We've all seen what's happened on the news and just want to be a good idea to come out and lend a hand.
In this region alone, it's estimated the public have donated more than £2.7 million, helping charities like the Red Cross, who at Stansted within days of the disaster loaded this jumbo with Land Rovers, tractors, equipment for British aid teams in the Philippines. In Milton Keynes, this is World Vision's UK headquarters, an international aid agency. Their focus is getting more aid to the Philippines. But they say for months, even years, this country will desperately need help rebuilding itself. Mike Cartwright, BBC Look East.
Well, joining me now is Richard Villar, a consultant orthopaedic surgeon who's just returned less than 24 hours ago from the Philippines, working for Save the Children. Now, Richard, I understand you've been in the SAS, you've been to many disaster zones, but did anything really prepare you for what you saw in the Philippines?
Well, sadly, no. I mean, you're right, I've been to many disaster zones, but I think the overriding feature of this one was the number of children I saw. I wasn't expecting quite so many children. The totality of destruction and the severity of the injuries were really quite exceptional in my view.
Now, one little boy that you helped, I think we have some pictures of him. Can you tell us a bit about what happened?
Well, sadly, he exemplifies the problem surrounding many other patients too, but he sustained a crush injury to his leg. It was totally unsalvageable. The leg required amputation, and how do you begin to do that in a child? It's extraordinarily difficult, because not only is it difficult for the surgeon, it's also difficult because you realise what you're committing that child to for the rest of his time. So an amputation is performed, but even then the amputation cannot be closed. The reason you amputate, of course, is because the wound has a strong chance of being infected. That infection can actually kill the patient if you're not careful.
It's terrible, but he's okay now, is he?
On the road to recovery, but more operations to come.
It's a terrible, terrible situation out there. But how do you personally, as a human being, survive being a surgeon out there?
Well, one of the issues, of course, is you have to survive in order to treat the patients. You don't have a comfy hotel to stay in. We were in tents on a concrete surface. We were cooking for ourselves, washing for ourselves, and then having to operate in a tent. And so you have a team. The team keeps you going. If you happen to be on a downer, most of the other people are on an upper, and that keeps you going. By yourself, it would be difficult. Together, it becomes possible.
Well, Richard, you've done some great work. Thank you very, very much indeed. Now, the old site of Peterborough District Hospital has been sold for more than £7.5 million.